Saturday evening, everybody. This is going to be the start of one of possibly 3 vlogs that I'm going to do this month. So this is going to be the first part of the month. This is dedicated to an event that I made up last year called Novella November. Self-explanatory, and I'll have that video up tomorrow for sure if you want to know the info. But you'll probably see this video in a week or so. So I'm going to go over the prompts once more, read a slasher, read a splatter western, read a sci-fi, read a creature feature, read short story, anthology, or short story collection. Now it could be either one of those 3 that's in the same category, and wild card. So anything goes on that prompt. So let's go ahead and show you the first set of books that I want to read for Novella November. And the first book I'm going to start off with tonight is The Screaming Tree by PC3, and this is only 49 pages, and this was something that I also saw. It's number 25 out of 100 copies. So this was originally in Splatterpunk number 12, released in 2022. So this is literally about a man encountering this mysterious tree. So it goes under short story. This is only 49 pages long. So what better way than to literally kick this thing off with the shortest that I can probably read in one sitting. That is The Screaming Tree. The next book that I'm definitely going to start tomorrow, because I'm going to focus on this tonight, 7 Rabbits by Timothy King. And this is under the slasher prompt. So think of it as You're Next, but with cabin in the woods as an aesthetic. So kind of like a home invasion type story where the football team just goes on a retreat every year, but this year things go out of hand fast. So definitely one of my most anticipated reads to read this month, 7 Rabbits. And Here Comes the Sun by Justin M. Woodward. This is under splatter western. Well, I'll just read the back here. There had been talk of monsters around the small, quiet town of Fort Whipple for some time before the evening of the brutal massacre. First there was the livestock, dead. Shriveled bodies lined the fields, drained of their blood. But when human bodies began falling from the sky, a dark protector of sorts is dispatched to minimize the casualties. So I said this before, this kind of reminds me of Blade in a way. Because I think there's vampires involved. I might be completely wrong. This can go to be cosmic horror. But I'm definitely excited to read this one. So these are the 3 books that I'm going to start off in this first vlog for November. So my goal is to try and get this done by next Saturday. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Screaming Tree. And I'll update you in the morning. Good night. Book 1 done at 11:30. Technically 10:30 because of daylight savings time. Hello. It's still Saturday night. Guys, I finished The Screaming Tree. This thing took me about like an hour to read. It's only 49 pages, so for that short amount of time, this was actually a very creepy story. So it's about like these 2 men who take a hike in the woods one day and they find this grotesque tree. And then it goes into like a backstory where our main protagonist remembers how his mother died. She was strangled by his grandmother, and his grandmother said, "The tree made me do it." So, the Screaming Tree basically tells its victims what to do, and it causes like suicides and very horrific deaths. This thing was pretty twisted, but actually very, very good. And it's only, I have like the 25th copy out of 100 copies. And I got this at AuthorCon. So that is book number 1. I would settle on maybe 4 stars. This could have easily been a very good novel. But that's book 1, The Screaming Tree. I'm going to bed. But in the morning, I'm starting this thing. Can't wait for it. Good night. Good Tuesday evening, everybody. And, man, I haven't updated you in a while. I do apologize for that, but sleep won. So, I haven't updated you since Saturday night. Yeah. Great start. But, I'm about ready to start my second book in my Novella November round 1 video here. So this is a very anticipated book for me, and it's basically Tim King's vision on your next. And I'm probably going to read for maybe about like a couple hours, see how far I get. Then I'll update you then. But this needs to happen. I'll see you in the first update of 7 Rabbits. It's update time. So I've been reading for pretty much approximately close to 2 hours. I made it to chapter 7, page 54 of 7 Rabbits. And this is not what I expected it to be, but it's still pretty decent. So the story is we're following a group of football players who go to a cabin in the woods for like a week of debauchery, and they start playing a video of fellow high school students, and all of them were girls. So apparently they bullied all these girls and forced them to date them. So we're getting chapters of the girls and chapters of the football players. And this is also turning into like a slasher. And I did read the first kill, which was pretty brutal. It was just like 4 men in plastic rabbit masks, and they brutally just murdered one of the football players. But so far, I really am enjoying this. We'll see how far I get into it later on tonight. But I'm hoping to get up to, I'm hoping I get up to like chapter 10 tonight, which gets me to page 76. So that's like another 20 or so pages. But that's my update for 7 Rabbits. I will see you in the next update. Adios. It's Saturday night, everybody, and this is an update, if you will. I'm still making my way through 7 Rabbits. I'm on the same exact spot. Chapter 7, page 54. Yeah, I haven't read this since Tuesday. So this vlog is all over the place, but it's just been a very long week. Every night I've been like falling asleep, which is a good thing, but I haven't read any of this since Tuesday. But I'm hoping to make some leeway on it tonight before I go to bed. And then when I get up tomorrow, I'll give you an update on where I am and what's happening. But the last time I read this was when I started it. So it's basically a perspective of like football players going to like a retreat, and they watch videos of like women that they assaulted, and a new kid gets the information where they actually see his girlfriend as a part of this video compilation. And then it goes back and forth with all like the women that they assaulted. And this is also basically a slasher novel. We already met the 7 rabbits, and we got our first kill here. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to get a good way for like an hour tonight, and then possibly try and finish this up tomorrow. So I'm going to try and make a redemption on this vlog, because I still have one more book to get through. My deadline for this vlog is by Wednesday to complete this and my other book. So let's go ahead and get started again. So I'll update you in the morning. Good night. It's Sunday afternoon. The sun's about ready to go down. Terrible at updating you guys, but I did make some leeway on 7 rabbits last night and this morning. I'm now on chapter 13, page 98, and this thing got very brutal and very emotional at the same time. So it's still the same thing where you have like the football players at their retreat, and then it goes to subsequent chapters about like the girls they tortured. So the last time I read this morning, it definitely went into like one of the female victims and what happened to her, and it was pretty brutal. So there's definitely some trigger warnings for self-harm in this book, but this ends on 189. So as of now, I'm like less than 100 pages away from finishing this. I'm hoping to possibly finish it tonight or tomorrow. So I'm going to read for probably an hour or so and see how far I get. But that was my update for 7 rabbits. I'll see you in the next update. Good Tuesday evening, everybody. Well, I'm still doing this vlog, and I'm still on this. I haven't updated you since Sunday, and a lot has happened since that last update. We get the twist on who the 7 rabbits are, but if you don't want to know, I won't give it away. But we also had a little bit of self-harm promotions in here as well. This has actually turned out to be a very depressing but brutal book. So I'm on page 120 exactly. I have 69 pages left. I'm hoping to finish this thing tonight. So I got to finish up this first vlog because I still have one more book left after this. But I'll update you when I finish this tonight, if I don't doze off. But that's what I got for the update right now. Let's finish this thing up. Well, it is Wednesday night, and here's an update for 7 rabbits. I am approximately 39 pages away from finishing this bad boy. So that is definitely going to happen tonight. And obviously we learned that the 7 rabbits are the dads of the girls that these football players abused and bullied. And they're just taking these kids out one by one. So they tried to go to the police, but the police are the fathers of a couple of the boys, so the police don't want to side with the dads who lost these daughters. This book is actually depressing and brutal at the same time, but it turns into like a pretty good revenge thriller. It's a pretty solid book, so I will update you when I finally finish this. And when I mean finally, I'll probably finish it at around 9:15ish. Then I'll let you know. But this is going to be my last update for 7 Rabbits before finishing it. Let's do this. I'll see you when I finish it. There it is. Book number 2 complete. Well, it is a lot later in the night. I finally finished 7 Rabbits. And just ignore the dogs barking outside. But this book was very depressing and very brutal. And I was shocked at the ending. So, turns out the 7 Rabbits were the fathers of the girls that the football players abused, and they just got their revenge. So this turned out to be like You're Next, but a whole lot darker. This was actually a really, really good book. At first I was kind of confused on like the writing style, but it started to make sense as you went further in. There were chapters that dealt with the football players, then it went into like the victims, and then the fathers planning their assault and revenge on the football players. So overall, I would give 7 rabbits. I would probably give this 4 stars. Very decent book, but it starts off very slow. And it takes a while for the first kill to happen. But I highly recommend this one. That is the second book completed, 7 Rabbits by Tim King. And now, to give you guys the third and final book for round 1 of Novella November. Here Comes the Sun by Justin M. Woodward. This is a splatter western, and I don't know what to expect from this one, but this is only 131 pages. Obviously, it's getting a little bit late now, but I will definitely start this tomorrow. But I'm just going to read the back one more time to remind you. There had been talk of monsters around the small, quiet town of Fort Whipple for some time before the evening of the brutal massacre. First there was the livestock, dead. Shriveled bodies lined the fields, drained of their blood. But when human bodies began falling from the sky, a dark protector of sorts is dispatched to minimalize the casualties. So, I'll definitely start this tomorrow and see how far I get. This should definitely take me over the weekend to finish this. And I can finally release this first vlog. So, see you in the next update. But I'm going to bed. Good night. What's up, everybody? It's Monday evening, and boy, I'm horrible at updating you guys. So, the last time I truly updated you was, I want to say, last Thursday or Wednesday. Well, I did start my final book for this vlog as of yesterday morning. So, Here Comes the Sun, a splatter western by Justin M. Woodward. Guys, I'm on chapter 3, page 28, and I have to say that I was hooked from page 1. This is turning out to be like a vampire story. I was completely right, and so far we have 2 deaths and a sheriff trying to figure out what happened to a farmer's livestock. And this prologue was actually pretty creepy. Chapter 2 was very creepy. And I'm absolutely loving this so far. So I'm hoping to get this finished as soon as tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and read for a little bit, and update you when I feel good about where I left off. But I promise you, this vlog is going to end as soon as tomorrow, and I'll upload this first vlog on Wednesday. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and dive into this. I'll see you in the next update. What's up, everyone? It's Tuesday night, and it's update time. I am on chapter 5 of Here Comes the Sun on page 52. So, I'm a little bit more halfway through this thing. I still have about 81 pages left. So I'm hoping to finish this tonight and get this vlog out tomorrow. Mark my words, it is happening. But book-wise, this is probably ended up being my favorite read of this vlog. It's still a very well-written splatter western. It's got a little bit of supernatural-esque moments in it because it is a vampire novella, and I do like the western aspect to it, henceforth a splatter western. So the last time we left this off, I read the moment where we met the creature who is behind all this, supposedly, and the husband of the second victim came home and found his wife mutilated. So now the town is in a frenzy, and that's where I left off. But I am hoping to finish this tonight. It should take me probably about a couple hours, but I'm just going to do it. So I'll update you when I finish this. But back to reading. That is book 3 completed. Hello, me again. And this is my last and final update for round 1 of Novella November. Guys, it just turned 11 at night, but I did complete Here Comes the Sun by Justin M. Woodward. And this was an excellent book. I really enjoyed this. I pretty much read the last half of this book just this evening. So, this is basically about a sheriff who investigates mysterious deaths in his town, and he's not sure if it's animalistic or human. Well, it turns out to be a very strong vampire force. So, we learn about that, but there is another vampire on the loose, and it's his job to stop him and protect the humans. So, that's literally this whole story. But I will say, there wasn't really much vampire lore behind this. I mean, the victims didn't even come back. They just died. But major twist at the very end of this. And at the end of chapter 11, I was shocked. But I absolutely love this book. I think it might be in the conversation for one of my favorite books of the year. Guys, this is a 5-star read. So, of all the splatter westerns I read this year, this one might actually be my second favorite behind Red Station. So, those are my thoughts on Here Comes the Sun. And now I'm going to rank the 3 books that I read for this very long vlog. But I didn't read every single day. That's why this whole vlog is very chaotic. But anyway, in third place, my first read, The Screaming Tree by Patrick C. Harrison III. This was just a very short story, and I rated this 4 stars. Very creepy short story. In second place was 7 Rabbits by Timothy King. And this was a solid slasher revenge story. And the way this thing ended literally shocked me, because the good actually won over the evil. So I rated this 4 stars. And finally, Here Comes the Sun, 5 stars. Very good vampire story. So, this is the 19th day of November, and I'm just now ending this vlog. So, I'm going to leave it at there and start my next vlog tomorrow. I'll show you what I'm going to be reading, but this is the end of round 1 for Novella November. Thank you for watching, and I'll try my best to get a shorter vlog out before the end of the month. But right now, I'm going to go to bed. Good night.